the 7:30 hour. It kicks off with the Rumspringa, Mr. Matt Wellbrock, newly Facebook official in a relationship. He's gonna bring that to the field with him. You know.
We said we weren't gonna talk about this.
Yeah, we were gonna make it. Well, we're talking about it now.
Thank you.
30 seconds ago, I was like, no, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
We just need it.
That's the podcast. So don't bring this up. All right, so.
Well, anyway, you'll be playing the new Kickheads. So, number one, congratulations.
Thank you.
Number two, what do you see happening in this game?
Well, I am going to be recognized at a dinner on Wednesday for this game, so I will not be in attendance. So we can take that
Game
whole,
changer.
Yeah, that whole official relationship status, throw it out the window for my swagger to play this game. But you know, we were going into last week going to go against foul balls, and I made a claim that no win is guaranteed. You need to show up to the field and play 100%. So didn't get a chance to prove that last week due to the rain out. This is another team where we get to prove that point that we need to beat some teams that we should beat by a pretty good margin. Rusty is going to be taking over pitching duties probably for the full game. Utmost confidence in him. I mean, for you guys that I've been playing for a while as the pitcher, Rusty's kind of newly acclimated to it, but this man has the speed, he has the power, a little bit of spin. It's kind of similar to what I throw, so he's got this down. And then the infield with Ricky Holmes, Brian Young, and David Lopez at first base. I see the defense keeping up how we usually do, league leading 1.2 runs a game in the WAKA Peninsula. Just got to throw that shout out there. So I see this game, pretty much in the bag. Don't want to say that it's going to be a shutout, but whatever. But I see us kind of coasting through. We got a doubleheader, so we're just gonna put what we need to do, kind of rest some people for that big game at 9:30.
So NKOTB is a team that they're winless. They're 0-6 right now, but I get the sense that they're hungry for that first win. They've played a lot better the last couple of weeks than they had early in the season, so I wouldn't necessarily go into it. I would caution against looking at it as a gimme win, so it could be closer than expected. But I gotta say, Rumspringa probably favored by 3.5. With that said, so
it's on a whole nother level right now. I'm seeing, like you said, new Kickheads.
Yes,
yeah. I was thinking like a Rumspringa 3-run, 3 to 4 run win here. Like I said, the new Kickheads, they can put some runs on you. They got some guys who can kick. They got some speed around there.
Yeah.
So won't be surprised to see them. Even with your great defense, throw out a run, maybe 2. But I think y'all got up and down the lineup. Guys that'll get on base. You'll move it around. I see like 5-1. Or 6-2 or 5-2, somewhere in that range. So I'd go with you on 3.5 to Rumspringa.
Sounds about right.
All right. Then we have the Moose Knuckles playing the Chubby Gangsters. This should be a highly entertaining matchup. Got the deputy commish coming to the mound here for the Moose Knuckles. My briefly former teammate Daniel, who's kind of sick lefty thing going. He can be a little difficult to hit sometimes. Both teams score some runs. We know that. We mentioned earlier the Chubby Gangsters got a nice top part of their lineup. Yeah. And they got some girls you can't look past either. And I haven't really seen much of the Moose Knuckles except from their results, which have been good so far. So I see a really close matchup here.
Well, I'll tell you, I got some intelligence on this. Last night at an extracurricular function, I talked with Moose Knuckles captain Nick Anderson, and he said this is going to be a tough week for them. Not only are they playing a quality opponent in the Chubby Gangsters, but they also are going to be missing several key players. So they'll probably be down to only 4 or 5 guys. So it's going to be a tough row for them. They got the challenge. But one thing that they will benefit from is it'll be the debut for pitcher Jesse Jones, who's coming back in from the...
Who?
Jesse Jones.
Who?
Jesse Jones.
Who? Jesse I don't acknowledge that name at this table. Go on.
But he's coming back in from the former Soviet Union. He's coming in like Ivan Drago, ready to make his debut this season for the spring. He gives him a big boost. He's a guy who throws pretty hard.
You must crush you.
I must break you. And he's, yeah, so they'll at least have him, but I think it'll be tough. I got to go with Chubby Gangsters. I'll say Chubby Gangsters by 4.5.
4.5. Wow, you guys going bigger than what I would.
I did not get a lot of confidence from Nick last night.
Yeah, Nick looked a little worried, and I don't know if that was because Giselle was eating all the cornbread in front of him, but I was just more upset that he wasn't getting that out or the game coming up. But Chubby Gangsters, again, my team that I picked from the beginning. I'm going to ride that train. Yeah, that sounds kind of weird.
Hey, I'd ride that Chubby Gangsters
like
train.
Genuine, I'm going to ride that train.
You know, we talked a little bit about it earlier in the podcast. Doogie McHauser over there running those bases around 100% batting average, kicking average. So I see that. Yeah, I see that keeping up with the trend. Moose Knuckles, Jesse Jones is going to keep this competitive with his pitches and the Moose Knuckles defense. Jesse Jones. So I got Chubby Gangsters going. I wanted to go 2.5, but you know, you guys, I wanted to be on the same consistent level. We've been doing great on keeping it together. I'll go 3.5 to the Chubby Gangsters.
Doogie McHauser, yeah, I think he'll suit up for this one. You know, your inside info on the Moose Knuckles I didn't have before, so I guess, you know, I'm feeling copacetic here. You know, let's stick with, what do you got? 3.5 to the Chubbies.
Yeah.
Now, I did get a chance to catch up with Keith Morehart from the Chubby Gangsters on Wednesday and hear his thoughts.
Moose Knuckles Chubby Gangsters is going to be a rematch, a parable of the Moose Knuckles Chicken Tetrazzini. It will be back and forth. It will be offense versus defense. They put up 2 runs. We put up 2 runs. It's going to be back and forth. I know Nick Anderson won't be there, which obviously is going to favor us, but I can tell you I will beat Giselle Anderson's home field advantage challenge. And that's all I have to say about that.
So there you have it from the man himself.
2 close teams off the field. It'll be a good match.
He was looking sexy right there in that video.
When is he not? When is he not?
It's true.
Oh, in the final game of the 7:30 hour, we've got Burning Bridges versus Battlestar Ballsacktica. Say that 3 times fast, friend.
Beats, Bears, Battlestar Ballsacktica, Burning Bridges. Oh, I tell you, this is a good matchup for the 7:30 hour. Burning Bridges, they're at 500. I know they had higher aspirations for this early season, but it's, like I said, it's still early. We're at the halfway point. I think they got to be favored over Battlestar Ballsacktica. The Ballsacks are pretty good. You know, I saw them 2 weeks ago when we played them. We kind of tuned them up a little bit, but that wasn't really, the final score wasn't representative of their talent. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. I got to go, the Bridges are just more polished. I think a little bit, you know, Ballsack's looking for their first win in the season, but it's not going to happen this week. I got to go with Burning Bridges by 2 runs.
Yep. I'll, you know, looking at just the standings here, Battlestar, another team, what we've said is not indicative of their record, 0-3-1. I don't see them either getting their first win against Burning Bridges. They got to have one of these teams that shows up on their schedule where they can get that win and get that confidence back. Yeah. This is not going to be that week. Battlestar's had a very tough schedule going so far into the WAKA Peninsula season.
Some have said it's the toughest in the league.
Some have said it's the toughest in the league. But, you know, that's for the statisticians to prove. I don't do stats. I just talk and I just make up shit. Hey. So, you know, but what I don't make up is 5.25 runs against per game for Battlestar. I think their defense...
they'll have to tighten that up if they want to have a shot at beating Burning Bridges.
Absolutely. And, you know, their defense, I think, is going to be the thing that's going to affect them most this game. I see Burning Bridges just edging them out by, you know, a run and a half.
Right there with you. I echo, I'm not going to waste everyone's time burning bridges, just a little tighter on defense and offense. I think they get it about 2 runs probably with the win, like a 4-2 game here.
Phil saw his Bulls lose to the Sixers and my Bulls lose to the Sixers, so he's going to come out with a lot of fire and aggression. So,
all right, so we got 2 runs to burning bridges.
That sounds
1.5 to 2. All right, that's it for the 7:30 hour. And stick around. We got the 8:30 games. Promises some hot kickball action.